4 different robot vacuuming mops in the past 6 years, and none of them could stand up to the daily messes of my kids. So I got this one to see if it would actually work, and I want to show you the results, but I also want to tell you some honesty of some of the things I noticed after using this. So let me show you.
Two quick things I wanted to point out before I show you the cleaning results. So this has a heated mop head cleaner, which helps sanitize it and make sure that you are always cleaning with a clean mop head, which is so important when you have a bunch of kids at your house. It also has its extendable mop head, so then that way it can get right up flush to the wall, which is really important to get all of those crumbs. Okay, so let's see the cleaning results. So this is not staged at all. This is what my toy room usually looks like. And with my old vacuums, I ended up just always telling it to not go into the toy room because it would always get stuck and it would suck up toys and then just become this big hassle. So I really wanted to make sure that this vacuum had really good detection on it, so that way it wasn't going to get stuck every single time I used it in the toy room or have to just completely tell it to stop using the toy room. So as you can see, it is maneuvering around all of these toys super well. It even saw that there was that little car right there and decided to go back around the blocks. So I was really impressed with how good this did in my toy room.
Okay, so here's some honesty about the vacuuming. So I ran it now 10 times and it does really good with the obstacles like you saw. So it hasn't got tangled in any cords or around any toys. So that is way better than what my old vacuum does. This is some things though that it did either suck up and get stuck on, or sometimes when I could hear it stuck in the wheel, so I paused it to fix it. So this pipe cleaner was one that got wound around its wheels. So it didn't pause the cleaning, but I could hear it. So I paused it myself and got this unstuck from the wheels. This wrapper right here got sucked up into it, and once again it didn't stop the cleaning, but I could hear like this sound while it was going around, so I paused it myself and got that out. This did get stuck, and so it paused the cleaning. It stopped the cleaning, this little bouncy ball. So this did get stuck into it, and I had to remove the roller and get this out of the little like hole. But this was the first thing that actually made it stop cleaning. All these other items are ones that like I could hear that something was kind of wound up in the wheel or was up in the roller. So I paused it myself to get these things unstuck. So this is still way better than what my old vacuum was. My old vacuum, I swear, was getting stuck almost every single cleaning and it would pause itself. And so when I would get home, I'd realize it actually didn't even end up cleaning my house.
So now let's test the mop. So there is some dried yogurt there and a bunch of crumbs, as you can see. So it's going to go over this yogurt stain a couple times, and you can see with every pass it starts to get picked up and fade away. So after a couple passes, this is now what it looks like. So it's not completely gone, but it's mostly gone, and there's no way my old mop would have even gotten that close. So let's test the vacuum while it mops. So it does both at the same time, vacuums and mops. And as you can see, it is picking up those crumbs really well. My old one that I used to have, it would just spit those crumbs all around. So it was almost just like throwing them all around instead of actually sucking them up. Here's what it looks like at the end of the cleaning. So you can see it looks a lot better. One thing I want to point out is the water streaks. So this has a mop bar instead of spinning heads. And I think that is why this has such a smooth look to it. It is not streaky at all.
Okay, so here's some honesty about the mop. I absolutely love that it's a roller like this because my old mop would make my floors look really streaky with the circles. I also like that this isn't spurting out water because my other mop would spurt out water and I'd find little puddles all around. So I really like it about it, but some honesty is that it does take a couple passes. So you saw with that yogurt, it took it 5 passes to get it cleaned. It did pick it up, it did make it clean, but it did take a couple passes. So I've set up a deep clean scenario clean, and I'll show you how to do that. So then that way on my kitchen table, I can do a deep clean on there. So then that way it's doing several passes with more water and more suction, and it's not doing that throughout the entire house. It's just doing it right where I need it. So just know that it will take some extra passes for those bigger messes or stickier messes.
Here's a look at the base. So you can take the front off of it And that is where you can put the cleaning solution, and then you will empty the vacuum bag. So you pull out this little cartridge right here and you fill it up with the cleaning solution, and then the mop will automatically add the cleaning solution to its water while it is mopping your floor. The mop has a little ramp going up onto its stand, and then here is what it sounds like while it is emptying. My old one used to sound like a rocket taking off, and it took so long, so I was really impressed with this one.
Let's start washing the roller mop with hot water.
So as you heard, it will tell you what it's doing while it's on the base. So it is now washing the roller mop. So you can see that it is now dipping it down into that heated water that it has. So that is going to help keep the mop head clean and also sanitized.
So some honesty about the drying. So I love that it dries it. This has been used for over 10 times and there's no smell to it, which is amazing. My other one, it would get super mildewy and gross underneath it. So the drying capacity of this is really good. Although you do still have to clean it. So you can see that there's some debris that is stuck inside of this. So I need to rinse this out. Also, if you take off the top pad, you can see that there is dirt in here. So you will want to make sure you're rinsing this off probably at least once a month, if not every few weeks. So while it is super great, it's not like, oh, you never have to worry about cleaning this. So just know you do need to still clean this.
So the water tank on this is really big. My other one was tiny. So I can use this about 3 times before I have to fill it up. Whereas my old one, I would have to fill it up 1 to 2 times per cleaning. So this is massive compared to what I was used to. It also separates the clean and the dirty water. So that is the dirty water that has been separated. Look how gross this water is. So if it hadn't separated the clean and the dirty water, this is what have just been pushed all around your house.
Okay, some honesty about the clean and dirty water tanks. So I love that I'm always cleaning with clean water, but that does mean that it gets a lot of dirty water in here and it is super gross like you saw. So you have to remember to be rinsing this out and emptying it pretty often. If you let this sit too long, it gets super gross and super stinky. I've never noticed this smell just coming from the machine, but I've opened this after it sat too long and whoo, it was really bad. So just remember to always be rinsing this after some cleanings. Also, make sure you are closing this lid really tight. So one time I didn't clasp it down all the way and all that dirty water flooded into the bottom of the machine. The vacuum did recognize this and stop and give me a warning. So it didn't like spill all over my floor, but I learned to make sure that this is always really closed tight before I put it back in. So that way it doesn't flood out on the machine.
Okay, let's talk about a few other important things with this and how it compares to the other ones I've owned, and then I'll show you the app. So here's a look at the mop head and the bristles. So you can remove this to get things out that have gotten tangled, and I won't lie, it's hard to get that out if you have nails, but once you have that little cover off, taking the bristle out itself and then cleaning in there is really easy. This can handle multiple surfaces really easily. So you can see it just went from my hardwood floor to my carpet, now to my tile, onto a rug, back to tile, and then now it's going to turn around and it is now going to be able to go over that super plush rug. My old robot vacuum would always get stuck right here. It could not handle going from the flat tile to the very plush rug, and then it would get stuck on the rug as well. So if you have a really plush carpet or rug, this definitely handled it really well. Something else that my old vacuum really struggled with was cords. So it would always get tangled around our charging cables that are on the edge of our bed. And you can see that this one is being very cautious around it. So it is moving around it while giving it a couple inches. So it's not getting stuck on this charging cable at all. It has this laser that it shines that helps it detect any type of obstacles it needs to avoid while it is mopping and vacuuming. It can fit into really tight spaces, and it also has this light that turns on when it detects that it's dark. So that's great for underneath your beds or your tables, or if you are vacuuming at night. The mop head will automatically lift up when it detects that it's going to go onto a rug or carpet. So you can see right there that it detected it, it lifted it up, it backed up a little bit, and now it is going over the rug without getting it wet. It handles corners really well. My corners were getting so scuffed up from my old mop, it would just ram into it. And this one is gliding right up along the edge of the wall without banging into it. The side bristles are really long too, so it can pick up things in tight corners. My old one was not that long, so I felt like it actually didn't get the things in the corners all that well. Something else I really love is not only does it give you those super pretty carpet lines, it is so quiet. My other one was way louder than this, so here is how loud this one is. So one kind of funny thing that our other mop didn't do that this one does is it closes my air vents. So if you notice that your house is a little hot or cold, go check your air vents.
Okay, now let's look at the app.
So this is what it looks like after a cleaning. So you can see all the spots that it cleaned, and this took 80 minutes to do 688 square feet, which is actually a lot faster than my old one. One of my favorite features is these scenario cleans. So you will draw a box around a specific area on your map, and then you can do a specific setting for that area. So you can do things like more suction, less suction, just vacuum, vacuum and mop, or a mop then vacuum. You can choose less water, more water. You can choose the path, and then you can say 1 or 2 passes. So this is great when you're wanting an extra little love in one spot. You then will name your scenario. So then on your home screen, you can click Scenario Clean and just choose one of the scenarios that you have built. You can set up virtual boundaries, and this is where you either don't want it to be able to go at all, or if you don't want it to mop in that specific area. So you can do things like pet dishes, or if you don't want it to mop in a certain spot. It has a built-in camera that you can see, so you'll select a pin and then you can see a live feed camera while it is going. You can do multiple maps, so like if you wanted one on your downstairs and then upstairs, and this won't climb your stairs, but you can take it up the stairs and then have it clean. So it has a voice activated feature where you can say a keyword and it'll start mopping for you. I actually didn't like this because I noticed that the mop would start mopping randomly because it thought I said this keyword when I didn't, so I actually turned this off. There are so many different settings that you can choose, so you can really make this a very customized experience for you. Or you can do the agent mode, and that's what I like to do. So for agent mode, it automatically detects your cleaning habits and where you're needing a little more love or a little less. So that way you don't have to worry about all the settings. It will just automatically do it for you.
Okay, so my final opinion on all of this after using this for a while now is I really like it. Is it perfect? No. Is it pretty close? Yes. It's way better than the other ones I've used. I've used some really big name brand ones too, and there were just things I did not like about it, and it made it so that it was so inconsistent with its cleaning that it never really even ended up working. So this one has been really good. I would definitely recommend it, especially if you have a house with kids or pets or just some clutter. This obstacle avoidance was way better than any of the other ones that I've done. And I really like that the mopping is the rolling head, so then that way it's not just getting super streaky all over my floor. I would definitely buy this one again. I would definitely recommend it. So if you've been debating some other brands, or if you've had some bad experiences in the past with a robot and mop vacuum, then I would definitely give this one a go because overall I'm very happy.